Easter to all of you. I have been so excited to share the Easter Alleluia with you. All through the season of Lent, 45 days with Sundays, if you count the Sundays, it's been a very somber time. I was one of those that was expecting 2017 to lighten up a bit from 2016. It hasn't quite worked like that yet. Sometimes Lent is a season of our church year. Other times, it's just what's happening. And so, when I say Alleluia today, the Lord is risen, I'm saying it pushing back against the darkness of the world. Pushing back against our diagnoses. Pushing back against our surgical procedures. All the anxiety, all the turbulence. That's why I'm holding on to Easter this year, and I'm truly grateful that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here to celebrate the most important day of the entire Christian year. You might think living in the valley is Christmas, but not really. One of the things that I'm realizing as I get a bit older as a father, and our children age, and now our teenagers and young adults, is we don't have as much time to play games as we once did as a family. And I actually enjoy playing games, although I'm the worst game player in the world. And if it's a strategy game where you have to think through things like Clue, they should have made the title Clueless for me. I'm terrible at playing games that consider like people being smart. But games of chance, I really enjoy. I grew up playing a game called Kerplunk. Did anybody have Kerplunk? If you didn't have it, Jenga. Do you know Jenga? Have you played Jenga? Right? I think it's the same thing. We don't have Jenga. Kerplunk. A big plastic clear tube with holes in the middle. And into the holes are plastic sticks that are stuck very thickly, and it forms a tight lattice in the middle of the tube. And at the top of the tube, you put in a whole bunch of marbles. And the game is, you go person by person, and you pull, one by one, a stick out from the tube. Tension starts to mount. The marbles start to rattle just a little bit. And then one person inevitably pulls the one stick that's holding up all the marbles. That stick comes out, and you know what happens, right? Crash! All the marbles come crashing down and tumbling out. Jenga, isn't it, when you pull out a piece of wood or a block, is that right? And the whole wood comes down. Friends, it's the same thing in the Christian faith. Today is the one stick that holds up everything else. The resurrection of Jesus, the fundamental Christian statement, unlike any other world religion of which I am aware. I've been a lifetime student. That there is one person who died a physical death and was resurrected to new life. This is not reanimation. That's Frankenstein, or if you're like me, young Frankenstein. It's not resuscitation. That's the Vail Valley Medical Center. This is something entirely different altogether. A brand new life. And so the resurrection is the linchpin, it's the cornerstone, it's the foundation, it's what differentiates us from our Jewish brothers and sisters, our Islamic brothers and sisters, our Buddhist brothers. It's just distinctively Christian. And every year, I ask God to give me an image, a picture, something to invite all of us to accept, to receive. For some of us, we need to be converted or convinced about this key moment that changes all of human history. If you listen to Deacon Steve read the Gospel, you heard Matthew's account Out of the 4 Gospels, Matthew is given preeminence, pride of place. He's first in the early church. It's the first book of the Christian Gospels, of the whole Christian Scriptures. Matthew gives us a few details that the other Gospel writers do not include. I wonder if you heard them. Did you hear that there was an earthquake the morning that the women came to the tomb? Did you hear that just a few minutes ago? There was an actual earthquake on Sunday morning in Jerusalem. Matthew also tells us that the women see an angel. And that angel, Matthew's the only one to tell us this. They see the angel roll away the stone. The other Gospels, by the time the women arrive, the stone's already gone. That angel, they see roll away the stone. And they are able to look in the empty tomb. They expect it to be occupied. Does anybody here now expect that tomb to be occupied? If you raise your hand, you earn yourself a visit with Pastor Mark after the service for what we call a come to Martin Luther moment. So if you don't know the story, just see Mark. He's going to give it to you, both Protestant barrels. Tomb's empty. The world's changed. The cross has been flowered and beautiful. Let's go back and review those again for a second, shall we? What was the first one? An earthquake. Who's been in an earthquake? All of our California refugees right here in one place, and you paid prime money for that real estate. Oh boy, when will you learn? Yeah, okay. Let me ask, are you sure? If you didn't raise your hand, are you sure? Are you sure you haven't been in an earthquake? Because earthquakes are not just physical. In our valley, in our church, we have life earthquakes. The ground upon which you're standing looks totally solid, and all of a sudden it completely drops away in a moment in time. Everything that you've got ordered in your house, and it's all in the right place, and we've worked so hard to get it there. All of a sudden it starts to rattle and shake and move. All these big buildings around us, the world as we know it, everything we thought we knew, comes crashing to the ground. And our well-ordered lives are literally shattered. And in that life earthquake, what's left is rubble and ruin. And we have to navigate a brand new life. May I ask you again, have you ever been in an earthquake? Boy, I sure have. Can God use a life earthquake to get our attention? Friends, the answer is absolutely yes. Yes, He can. Can God call us out of an old life that's falling down around us to a new life? Absolutely, yes, He can. Can God sustain us in moments when we are terrified and we shake like dead men? Matthew says those strong Roman guards froze like dead men. Can God give us strength and provision to walk through those moments with faith and love? And I came here today to say absolutely yes. Yes, He can. If Jesus is raised from the dead, God can do just about anything with us. What was the second thing that Matthew mentions? Different than the other Gospels? Stone and angel. Angel. Who's seen an angel? Feel free to raise your hand. Who's seen an angel? Okay. Now, if you're in the Vail Village and you see a guy in a white dress walking towards you, it's going to be me. And you should turn and run because I'm doing something evangelistic. When we did Ash Wednesday and we did Ashes to Go, people that didn't know me walked towards me You all turned and walked away from me with that fight or flee space, and I followed you, and I'll do it every time. Man, so, are you sure? Are you sure? You've never heard an angel speak. All through the season of Lent, God has been speaking to me. Sometimes He uses the angels that are seated right behind me, extraordinarily wise men and women, that He uses to speak a word to me that I need to hear. God uses my family. God uses many of you to speak to my heart. How do you know it's an angel's voice? Because that voice tells you to not be afraid. That voice always points you to God's highest and best purpose. That voice says, follow Jesus. He's on ahead of you. All you have to do is follow. Some of the greatest angels I have ever met are in this room. And you have spoken with God's voice to my life. Can I tell you that an angel every once in a while has to roll away the stone? Because I can't do it on my own. Can I tell you, there's always people sitting here, some years it's been me. We look live on the outside, but we are cold as a tomb on the inside. We are shut right up. Nothing's getting through that stone. And if that's you today, may I say that there is an angel who can take away the stone of the human heart. There's no stone, there's no heart that's cold enough for God cannot liberate it anymore. If God was raised from the dead, if God raised Jesus, He can do it with us. Let me ask again, have you ever seen or been spoken to by an angel? All the time. God talks to us all the time. Last one is the empty tomb. Now, may I ask if you've ever traveled in Italy or France or around Europe or London? So if you've ever been to Italy, there's probably 3 people that haven't. I mean, this is the Vail Valley, right? Okay. Have you ever been to one of these great churches and they have the thumb of a great female saint? Or the elbow of one of your favorite saints? We keep stuff after people die. We keep it. And the tour bus will pull off the road for you to stop and see the jawbone of St. Cecilia. To which most Protestants go, ooh, gross. And you paid for it, you'll go on that trip and you'll see that, all those relics. Has anybody in Jerusalem or Rome or Malta or Cyprus or Alexandria or in Ephesus or in Turkey, have you ever seen a relic of Jesus, please? Thumb, arm, jawbone, elbow, kneecap, toe. You mean in 2,000 years, out of everybody we've kept, who's the one person that we cannot find one shred of physical evidence anywhere? It's Jesus. You see, some of us have to look in that tomb. I'm a study guy. I have to examine the evidence for myself. When I come close to God, I study. I reflect. Some of us, maybe somebody here, has never seriously looked in the tomb to see if it's empty. And I came here to tell you, it's empty now. It was empty on Easter, that first Easter. It will always be empty. Jesus is not there. He is risen and active and alive. Last question this Easter morning. I love Matthew, Mary Magdalene, and that other Mary. He didn't even know who she was. That other Mary. They experienced the earthquake, they watched the angel, they look into the empty tomb, they turn around, and who's standing right behind them? This is not a trick question, I'm a priest, you're in church. Who's standing right behind them? I'm sorry, what was that? Okay, let me go back here. Who's standing right behind him? Yeah, and before we hunt eggs, who's standing? Okay, and before our Bloody Mary, about 30 minutes, who? Jesus, okay. Jesus is standing right behind them. They don't even see him. They literally turn and bump right into him, and he says, "Greetings." And they're so overwhelmed, they fall down and they start worshiping him. Is there anybody here that doesn't know that Jesus is right here, now, closer to us, closer to me than I am to myself? Jesus is not far. God's divine presence in Christ is right here. You don't have to go anywhere. So many people never see him, and he's right there, waiting to greet us, waiting to lead us, waiting to love us. Friends, don't miss our risen Lord, right here, with arms open wide this Easter. Hopefully no earthquakes today. If you see an angel in white after this service, it's probably Mark. We don't have an empty tomb. There's only one church in the world that does, and that's a far distance away. But friends, what we have is the best gift of all, right here this morning. Our risen Lord. The most important gift we'll ever receive. Happy Easter. Amen.